YouTube fam, welcome back. It's yours truly to another episode of Marv's Room. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me. And to the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. I wanted to jump in here today, man, and talk to you guys real quick about cooperation. Um, because I want you guys to understand that in the universe and us as human beings, everything on this planet is in cooperation with one another. And I think so many times we hear this term being thrown around that you are God, or I am God, that we start to believe that everything really does go as we do, or as we want it to go, or as we say when we say. And the facts are, 9 times out of 10, most people on this planet, we will never get to that kind of level of mastery over our lives, meaning our manifestations will always take time, because we don't realize that we're in cooperation, and also we don't realize that we have to submit to the universe. Because as much as people read Neville and talk about Neville and say, and again, like I said, say things like we are gods, I am the God of my reality, I create my reality. That's true to a certain extent, but there's also certain things that we can't control necessarily. Like we necessarily, like nobody knows when they're gonna die. Like nobody knows that answer. We all plan for tomorrow thinking tomorrow's gonna come, and then next thing you know, tomorrow doesn't come. So we have to realize and understand as conscious creators, we are gods, but to a certain extent. There's certain things that we don't know that we can't control. And again, and this ties into with cooperation with the universe, and knowing that at the right time our manifestation is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And I want you guys to stay with me, because I'm going to give you guys a couple of manifestations that happened in my life, one last year and one literally last week, and I'm going to go over some examples. But I want you guys to realize this: the reason why cooperation is so important and is so big, and I think this is a huge piece of why people have a hard time manifesting, is because I want you guys to know, like, nobody really stays in the state 24/7. No matter who you are, you could be really like the most powerful manifester on earth, but nobody stays in the state. This is how we know what's good. This is how we know what's bad. You don't know what's bad without the good. You don't know what's good without the bad. You know what I mean? It's a blessing in everything, even the bad. And so I've realized this a long time ago, but I wanted to share this message with you guys because it's been on my mind. I look at some of the comments that people say when they're trying to manifest, and I realized, and then working with people one-on-one, all over the world, I realized that a lot of you guys are trying way too hard to stay in the state. You think you're doing something wrong. You think you're the problem because you're not staying in the state as much as you can. But I want you to know nobody stays in the state 24/7. That's impossible. Life fluctuates. Again, like I said in the beginning of this video, life is about cooperation. You're cooperating with the ups and downs of life. The whole point is to not get too high, to not to get too low, to stay in the middle. And like Abraham Hicks kind of says, follow your bliss. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's best if you're happy all the time, or things like that. But realistically, most people on earth, they can't operate from that type of, fifth dimension level or fourth dimension level, or whatever you, excuse me, whatever you want to call it, because simply put, life just gets in the way. And most of us on this planet, we don't have the kind of discipline we need to stay consistent with doing the work on ourselves, work meaning self-concept work. And so life's going to fluctuate. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but even people like Abraham Hicks, when she talks about Esther in the third person, and she talks about all of the dumb things that Esther does from time to time. Why is that? Because even somebody like Abraham Hicks, she doesn't stay in that state consistently, because realistically, no one on this earth does. So I don't want you guys to feel bad for not staying in this state, and understand that you are God of your reality, but you are God of your reality to a certain extent. There are certain things that we can do. There are certain things that you are the God of your reality for. But then there comes a time and point when you manifest where you have to take a step back and say, okay, boom. I understand I have to be in cooperation. Again, like I said in the beginning of this video, I have to be in cooperation with the universe, because this is the only way I'm going to get in flow. This is the only way I'm going to get what I want to manifest. We have to stop trying to force ourselves to be God and just let God be God, which is essentially letting the universe do what it does. Because the universe, which what we are an extension of as human beings, the universe knows all of the answers. Any answer you're trying to seek, find, whatever, the universe knows the answers. We don't know the answers until we learn how to relax and cooperate with the universe and tap into that all-knowing energy, that access, that synergy between, our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. Once we learn how to relax and cooperate with the universe, we can start to receive answers and things can start to happen a lot quickly. But like I said, we don't allow ourselves to trust the universe to get into that flow state, because we try so hard to force things and to force things to happen when we want it to happen, especially in like when it comes to a specific person and stuff like that. And we end up messing it up. I had a viewer in one of my comments on one of my videos say that they were getting so much movement from their specific person, and then they tried to rush it into 3D because they were getting excited, which is what happens, what I talked about in my last video that I put out, and I'll link it probably at the end of this video. But they were getting so much movement, probably because they were just doing everything right, letting things be natural, letting the universe take its course, etc., etc. But the moment they tried to actually start playing God and trying to be God, is when everything, kind of started going backwards for them, and I think that's a huge lesson to learn, is to not try to force God, not try to force yourself to be God, but understand, like, you are a part, and just let God, the God state in you, kind of flow naturally instead of trying to force it. Because again, when you try to force it, you're no longer in cooperation with the all-knowing, with the universe, with God, with source energy, whatever you want to call it. So now I want to give you a couple examples of a couple manifestations that happened in my life, where I want you guys to see that it doesn't matter about circumstances, and how you should just let God, let the universe, source energy, take care of the manifestation when it does, and how you don't have to force it to happen. So last year, maybe about last summer sometime, I had scratched the driver's side of my Jaguar XKR, and I got the paint on there, obviously, and scratched it, and everything came off. And so I said to myself, I said, you know what? I said, I'm not even going to worry about this. I said, it's done. I know I'm going to, it's going to be fixed. It's already fixed. I'm not even going to stress about it. Now, what most people would do in this situation is they would have, number one, they would have got upset, which I never got upset when I scratched my car on the side of the garage door. Most people would have got upset at themselves, and they would have been like, and then what most people would have did, you know what they would have did next? They would have went to the internet, and they would have probably called like 5 or 6 different auto body shops, trying to see who can do it the cheapest, and stuff like that, getting quotes, worrying about it, stressing about it. And for anybody that's ever had to get body work done on a car, that stuff can be extremely expensive, especially on a Jaguar XKR. If I were to take that car to the dealership, my car to the dealership to get it done, you're talking thousands of dollars easily, probably. But what I did was, when it happened, I said, okay, whatever. This was like last year, probably during the late spring, early summer, I'm guessing. Because I don't really remember when it happened, but somewhere around there of 2021. And I just said, okay, it's fixed. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not even going to shell out money to go get it fixed, even though I could probably find somebody to fix it, for X amount of dollars. So what I ended up doing was, I just did a visualization. I knew it was done. I saw it was fixed. I just looked at my car and my visualization, and I was like, man, I can't believe my my scratch is fixed, you know, and I could just feel that it was done, the excitement, like, yeah, I'm so happy it's fixed. Um, and so I just went on about my life. It wasn't something that I thought about every day. It wasn't something I visualized every day. It really wasn't a forethought of mine at all. So then about, I'd say October of 2021, yeah, maybe somewhere around there, October of 2021. So this was a few months. So you got July, June, July, August, September. So maybe about 4 months later or so, um, I had to get a new rim for my car because my rim was cracked and it was my tire was losing air. So I had to go get a rim for my car. So while I was there waiting for the guy to find the rim, because he couldn't find it because his boss had left it, he didn't know where his boss had put the rim. So I was there waiting for a few hours for his boss to get back, and he was trying to find the rim as well. While I was there waiting, one of the auto body guys comes out back and he sees my car and he sees the scratch on my car and he goes, "Yo, man, what happened?" And I tell him what happened, and he goes, "Okay, well, how much you want to give me to fix it for you?" And I was just like, it caught me off guard because I didn't expect him to bring this up and say this to me. He was like, "How much do you want to pay me to fix it?" And I was like, I mean, whatever. I was like, I got money on me right now. I was like, you tell me. Because I knew whatever I was getting ready to pay was going to be way cheaper than if I went to an auto body. He was like, yo, wait right here. He was like, give me whatever you want to pay me. He was like, it's all good. He's like, I'm going to take care of you. So he went to the back. My car is all black. I actually have videos of my car on my channel about different manifestations I had with my car that I'll talk about. But he goes to the back, he goes to the garage, brings out this black spray paint stuff, brings out some like sandpaper type of stuff, and he's literally right there on the spot. He sands my car down. He literally sands the car down and then spray paints it right there on the spot and fixes it. And I swear to goodness, it looks brand new. The whole thing looked brand freaking new. And I could not believe it. And I gave this guy $100 to do that. I could have gave him less than $100 probably, but I literally gave him $100. And I thought to myself, wow, I literally just got the scratch on my car fixed for way less than thousands of dollars. And it was a pretty decent sized scratch too by the headlight on the driver's side. It was a pretty decent sized scratch. Like you could see it because it was a white smudge mark. The paint and everything got off of it. You know what I mean? So you could see it. It was just a big white smudge mark on a black car. Like you could definitely see it. You can't miss it. So he fixed it. He fixed it for $100. He came out of nowhere. You know, the universe, I put it in universe's hands. I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't stressing about it. I wasn't like, oh, how am I going to fix this? You know, oh, where's the money? Like I could have easily went and found somebody to fix it probably. But I like to test these things like Neville always talks about. I like to test these things and see how long my manifestation is going to take, how long the universe is going to bring it to me. So that manifestation took about 4 months. Now, fast forward to last weekend, Memorial Day weekend of 2022, like whatever that was, May, whatever. Memorial Day weekend. A couple days prior to Memorial Day, I had a coaching session with someone and they neglected to pay me. They didn't pay me my money, right? And so I was like, it's okay. You know, I'm not even worried about it. It's cool. I wasn't even tripping. I was like, because like Florence Scovel Shinn always says, one of her affirmations is, there's no lack in divine mind. And so I always repeat that to myself. If something like that happens to me in any area of my life, I always say there's no lack in divine mind. So I wasn't really worried about it after I had the one-on-one with the session and then the person didn't pay me. What I did was for some reason, my mom had contacted me and she had said to me, she said, I want to go to the market in Philadelphia, Terminal Reading Market in Philadelphia, which is like a big farmer's market type of place, kind of in the middle of the city. So I said, okay, yeah, we can do it. We were supposed to go Wednesday, didn't go Wednesday. We were supposed to go Thursday, didn't go Thursday. So Friday came around, and Friday is the day we went. So while I'm there around Reading Market, I'm walking around the place for like an hour and some change, trying to figure out what I want to eat. The very last place I come to that I actually choose to eat was this like Middle Eastern place, like a halal place, you know, where they give you gyros and stuff like that. So I ended up getting a falafel gyro, right? And as I'm going to pay, I paid a guy. For some reason, I thought I might have dropped some money or something. And so I paid the guy, and then I don't know why what made me do this. I looked down, and when I looked down underneath the counter, by the seat, because they had these red bar stools and the count in front of the counter where the place I was at, Reading Terminal. I looked down on the ground, and under the bench, under the counter, there was a brand new, fresh $100 bill just sitting on the ground, chilling, just sitting on the ground. Like nobody, and hundreds, if not thousands of people walk through that place every single day. And I looked and I seen there was $100 bill, brand new, just chilling on the ground. Guys, I picked it up so fast. I could not believe it. I was like, yo, this cannot be real. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this is the universe giving me some of my money back from the client that didn't pay me. You know what I mean? And then in the following days, I got a couple other, few other dollars from unexpected sources as well. And I took some people somewhere, and people were like, yeah, here, yeah, you can have some gas money here. You know what I mean? I did a couple favors for some people and got paid. And so then I ended up getting the money back that I was supposed to get from working with my client, and then some. You know what I mean? So guys, these two manifestations alone just let you know, like, there is no lack in divine mind, number one. Number two, cooperate with the universe. Know that the universe is always on your side. Don't try to force God. Just let God be God. Just let the universe be universe. Understand that you have power to manifest, but you only have power to a certain extent. You have to be in cooperation with the universe and let the universe do its part to bring you your manifestation in the best, easiest way possible, because the universe always will deliver to you your manifestation in the way that has the most least resistance. All right, guys, the path of least resistance is the way the universe will bring you your manifestation if you allow it. You don't have to do anything. If you see in these two examples I just gave you, I literally did nothing. I didn't do anything. I just let the universe take the wheel. I had to submit. And I talked about this in one of my other videos in the past, knowing working with the masculine energy and the feminine energy in this universe. And knowing that you have to know when to submit to your desires, when to submit to the universe and let the universe take over instead of you trying to take over 24/7. Because like I said, no one stays in the state 24/7. It's impossible for most people. It's impossible. All right, guys. Hopefully you got some gems from this video. Hopefully it's inspired you in some way. But this has been yours truly once again, back for another episode of Marv's Room. I'll see you guys next time. You know where, you know when.